Hey guys, what's up? Today is the day. Today's the day that the bike gets dropped off. So they said between 9 and 1 o'clock. So I'm just waiting right now, hanging out in the garage with Moto. So yeah, it's just a waiting game. Once the bike gets here, I'm going to tear into the box. We're probably going to have it right here in this awesome space that I cleared out for it. So once the bike gets here, I'm going to tear into it. I'm probably not going to show me ripping into the box and all that because I think that's kind of time consuming and a waste of footage. So what's going to happen is we're going to film the bike getting here. Once that bike gets here, I'm going to rip into it, get everything off. It's pretty much one of these. I can actually show you right now. So this wire frame came with my last bike, and then it comes on a big old pallet like that over there. Dude. She's here, guys. You don't mind? What's up, man?
What's up, man?
How you doing? That's badass. I'm like,
motherfucker.
What's going on, man? Dude, I'm gonna vlog if that's cool with you. Cause I got a Moto channel, man. That's fucking nuts, man. That's crazy.
Well, I read the name.
Like, oh,
well, then when it says Sarah on the bill.
oh yeah. Yep.
I was thinking that on the way here.
You gonna be able to get that up that lip right there? Hell yeah. See, there's the old one from like last year, that little ass frame. This one's way bigger.
Where you want it?
Oh, wherever, right there is fine, man. Yeah, that's perfect. Hell yeah. Hey, you want that channel? You want to see it? Do you mind if you're in it? I can even like edit it you out if you don't want to be in it, but.
I don't care.
All right, cool. Let's see what that fucker looks like. 350? Oh shit. Big ass spider right there too. Couple of them.
I've been in the box for a while, man.
Hell yeah. What's up?
Looks like Chinese spiders.
All right. I'll see you around. Yeah, take care. Hey guys, what's up? Here is the new video that you guys have been asking for. Oh man, it's starting to clear up a little bit, which is awesome. So then yeah, you guys have been waiting for this. Let's just get it started. Let's go find somewhere to ride and talk about it. Fuel pump. Woo! She sounds awesome, and I'll tell you why. Let's let it warm up a little bit. Check out my sweet little logo. I'm actually getting a new one. It's like oil slick or a little rainbowy, whatever you want to call it. It was actually supposed to be orange, so they're actually going to send me a new one out. It's an orange oil slick, so I'll find somewhere cool to place that sticker. I actually might make some stickers of my own, Dark Owl Moto, not with the Instagram, but just some cool Dark Owl Moto, or come up with some sort of pretty sweet decal for you guys to check out. This thing's a beast, I'll tell you that. If you're not familiar with what it is, get you familiar with it here in a second. We're going to talk about it. Just going to find somewhere nice that we can go.
get up a little bit. This thing picks up. It's a beast. And for what it's worth, it's affordable in my opinion. My buddy right here. So he's actually working on his bike. I think he's redoing the color, painting it. Oh, she's a smooth shifter. It's a 5-speed. All right, guys, let's go ahead and talk about this beast. So I ended up selling the clone, obviously. It was a fun bike, but I did want to keep it, but I didn't, only because I decided to sell it just because I probably wasn't going to ride it a whole lot knowing what I was getting next. So I wanted to use that money rather than just getting a bike and then have it stock. It's hard for me to keep stuff stock. I want to change things that I know, you know, when I get a bike or when I buy a car or something, I immediately know what I want to do to it or want to start doing to it. And that's what was the case. That was the case with this bike. So after I saw it and I purchased it and was waiting for it, I wanted to make sure that I had some cool stuff to throw on it and kind of personalize it. And the big thing for bikes, for me, about bikes, is I hate the mirrors. Every mirror, I mean, they're for what mirrors do, some bikes, the stock mirrors are perfect, you know? They just don't look that cool. They always look kind of weird. It's rare for me, in my opinion, to find a bike that has some decent looking mirrors. So that was the first thing that I did was I changed out the mirrors and the levers too. So I got new levers here, which was a kit. So yeah, I got new levers to match. I ended up getting new mirrors because they look cooler. And if you see my other videos, they're the same mirrors that I had on the Grom clone, the Hellcat, and I just got them in black. I didn't want to do too much orange on this because this orange on this bike it's beautiful, and I didn't want to overdo the orange colors. This thing is pretty torquey, and it's a cornering beast, I'll tell you that. It hits corners nicely, nice and smooth. It's so comfortable to ride too. Price point for this was $3K and some change. Watch out, birdie, jeez. So yeah, it's been a while since I've ridden. I gotta keep my head up. I gotta get used to that so you guys can see more than just the bike. So I think we're gonna go to where I've gone before to get pictures of the Grom clone. We're gonna head there. Look at that turn radius, man. Oh. When I got this bike and started hitting some turns, I mean, I've been on bigger bikes before, but I wasn't used to it as being my own bike, if that makes sense. Like, if you have your own bike and you get used to it and then you ride somebody else's bike, you kind of, you know, it's a different experience. You're not really used to it. You know how to ride, but it feels different just because you're used to your bike. So I had to get used to leaning a little bit more on these to hit some of the turns, just because, mainly because the clone, it was so short and so small that the pegs would grind if you wanted to get a good lean. Leaning on those, you can only lean so much before the stock crappy tires, you know, do their thing, which is usually hopping, bouncing, skipping, sliding a little bit. They're not the best. Hopefully this chick sees me. So with this bike, I can definitely lean a lot more, and obviously you have bigger tires. Hopefully it doesn't rain. It looks like it's gonna storm. Every time, man, I tell you what, I think the last video was of the Hellcat and me talking about it, and I was trying to ride, but it was gonna storm. Looks like it, I don't know if it's coming this way or not. Holy crap, that's a lot of water. I'm hoping just the app stopped and that the camera's recording. Oh yeah, we're still recording. Perfect. Okay, cool. So yeah, anyway, let's go over here, pull over to where I've been before with the little Hellcat clone, and we'll talk more about this bike, and I kind of want to get some sick pictures of it too. It's only been a few weeks, and I feel like everything's nice and grown. I don't know if I'll park this bike in the grass like I did before. But we're going to park it nonetheless, see if we can get this app figured out. Alright, let's talk about this bike a little bit, guys. So, open up my visor here, let you guys check it out. So, it's pretty sweet. I think it looks amazing. So, again, it is a Chinese bike. People will hate on that. I really don't care. So, where I got it from was Venom Motorsports. I believe it came from Texas. It is a Venom GTO. And with the Grom clone that I had, I keep calling it a Grom clone, I mean, that's what it is. But with the Hellcat that I had, it was a Teo Hellcat, and I believe, shoot, I can't remember what the sticker was on it. Hellcat, Raptor. It said Raptor on it, but you know, when you buy those bikes, it doesn't say anything about Raptor in the description. I mentioned that. So when I bought it from Venom Motorsports, on their website, it's listed as a Venom GTO 250cc bike, and we'll talk more about the CCs in a second. So it's kind of funny because it says it's a Howlet or Howlet, whatever. Whatever. I mean, it doesn't bother me. It looks good. Whatever. I don't care what it's called. The bike looks amazing. It rides amazing. Yeah. So I could care less about the name. And then it says F1 edition. So apparently, on their website, the F1 edition has some performance upgrades and stuff like that. I will say on Venom's website, it's listed as a 250cc bike. But if you look up this bike and the specs of the bike on the actual maker, it's a Chinese brand name. I can't remember what the name is, but if you look it up, it actually is a 350cc engine. It's a 2-cylinder. The exact CCs is 332, and if you look at the ECU or the little computer box for that you know regulates the bike, it says 350 on there also. So I don't know if Venom downplays the CCs, because it's funny, in their description it says a 250cc bike that is tuned like a 350cc. So it's funny that they say that, and then it is everywhere else it says it is a 350cc bike. So I'm not opposed to that. I mean, the bike is pretty damn quick. So if you're coming, I'm used to other bikes. I've ridden 1000cc bikes, and you know, I've ripped on them, and you know, there's obviously a night and day difference. But if you're somebody who's coming from a smaller bike, like a clone or a pit bike or Ruckus or something like that, anything like that, any small bike, 125cc's, all those, you know, they're fun. They have a decent top speed. This is going to feel like a huge upgrade. I ride with some people, and they've got bigger CC bikes, you know, hang in there. It's a beast. It can hang with some pretty big bikes. It is fun. It's got a massive tire in the back for what it is. I did upgrade the fender delete. I think it looks a lot better, just basically because I'm not a fan of that massive fender delete. So, or the fender on that bike. Went with the fender delete. I obviously went with new turn signals. I replaced the mirrors, as mentioned, the brake fluid reservoir, this whole thing. This came as a set right here, so I upgraded those. Obviously, the turn signals up front too. New headlight, LED, because we all know that these Chinese bikes, I feel like their halogen bulbs are just ridiculous. They kind of suck. So, so back to the specs. I don't want to get off track here, but the exhaust that comes with it, I'll post a picture if I've got one. I think I do. It's got the Kawasaki Z1000 exhaust. Same exact exhaust. Obviously, this is a 2-cylinder into a 1-out, but on the Kawasaki Z1000s, it's got the same exhaust
but it's obviously a four-cylinder, so it comes out on both sides. But on this bike, they copied that. And then on the front here, this headlight shroud, headlight unit, whatever you want to call it, is almost very similar to the Honda CB 500F, 300F, I think. So it's kind of funny how they take different parts from other bikes and slap it on here. I will tell you, a big plus is this gas tank. The fuel tank can hold about 4 gallons, and it's metal. It's a big metal gas tank. It's not plastic and crappy if you're used to the little clones and stuff like that. It's well made. Once you ride this, if this is something that you're looking into getting, I highly recommend it. The seat is super comfortable. It's got storage. It comes with a bunch of other little things. And it's above all, this thing is a blast to ride. I went with, if you're thinking about taking off that exhaust that I was talking about, it is so ugly. I went with a, go figure, Chinese knockoff SE Project exhaust, and I think it looks good. It sounds good. That's all I care about. I had to get rid of that big suitcase. It was massive. It was ugly. This sounds better. If you are going to start doing performance stuff as far as exhaust and the filter and all that, I do recommend finding a way to tune this a little bit better, because you don't want to run lean. You don't want to, ruin the bike. It is Chinese. Does that mean that it's going to break? Not necessarily. If you take care of these bikes, I don't care what anybody says, it's going to last. It's, do the proper braking procedures, take care of it. I will say you need a longer spark plug than what they recommend or what they have actually in there. So I went with a NGK, I think it's a CR8. It's a little bit longer, and it reaches farther into the combustion chamber. So that's a huge thing. You don't want to foul up anything. The plugs, the little crappy ones that they put in there, I don't know why they do that. So I went with a bigger one, runs flawless. I did an oil change right away. I'm still going through the break-in period. Obviously, I got it 2 or 3 days ago, so that's not a big deal. I mean, I'm not really riding it too hard, but I don't want to baby the thing. You got to let it, break in properly. You want to get used to all riding conditions, so I recommend having a little bit of fun, but nothing crazy. You don't want to highway speeds and, max it all the way out all the time. But again, plastics, these things are solid. I'm used to even the front fender. So on my clone, the Hellcat, the front plastic was just shit. That thing fell off and it broke and cracked. This thing is pretty solid. It is solid, and the paint finish is amazing. It's orange, and it's got like a metallic flake in there, so it looks really good. Obviously your battery, and then some storage and stuff like that up here. Other than that, this bike, it's a blast to ride. I will say, back to performance-wise, there are rumors, and I've heard that you can actually get a power commander to fit. So I'd have to, actually, let's see if we can look real quick. All right. So in here, you can't really see it. I'd probably have, here, let me take this seat off real quick. Pulls out. Okay, so here, right here, I'll see if I can get a good view of it. In there, Delphi. It's a YY350. So this is the 350 computer. The engine parts also say 350 as mentioned. But there's some hookups under here where you can hook up a power commander. I'm almost 100% positive. So that's something I'm going to look into, and if it's doable, I'm definitely going to do it for you guys, and I want to do it for myself, obviously. Yeah, I want to be able to get the most power out of this thing and run a little bit more efficiently. So that's something that we're going to do for sure if it is doable. So I need to really look into that. I'm going to check, see what all I need. If it is a direct plug-in and everything, we're going to get this thing tuned. Pop this down. It ain't going nowhere. All right, cool. The sprockets and the chain, they're kind of generic and they're pretty damn small. I think I'm going to upgrade those at some point, but for right now, it rides fine. I don't care. Hopefully we don't get rained on here. Nice meaty tire. You could probably go up a size if you like to lean and get rid of these little chicken strips. Yeah, other than that, the bike is a blast. It is fun. It is super fun to ride. I've been itching to actually get out and really ride, just because it's been kind of crappy and chilly again, which is weird for May, the end of the month of May. So, but this bike is a beast for what it is worth and for what it is. So again, I think it's kind of funny that it's listed as a 250cc tuned
to a 350, and then when you look at everything on here, it's 350 all the way. So I don't know. I mean, I'm just going out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say it's definitely 332 cc. When you look up this bike and some of the serial numbers online with the actual manufacturer, I think it is a, what is it? Let's look this up real quick. But yet everything on this bike says otherwise. I wanted to get to the point I was trying to make. So, Yongfu. There's another brand or another name that if you look it up, it says it's the same exact bike, same engine, same exact engine on their specs, everything, and it's listed as a 332 cc engine. Now, I wonder if there's something where a lot of these sites that sell bikes like this online that come in a crate, I don't know if it's something that has to do with the CCs, so it's detuned, just so that way it is brought to some sort of standard. So that'd be my guess, as far as being able to purchase these on the internet and not through like a dealer with higher CCs. That's just a big guess. But again, this thing is a beast, super torquey for what it is. Again, overall, do I recommend this? 100%. If you want to get something that you can go a little bit faster on, and you want to, go all out and be able to keep up with your buddies on the twisties, not so much. I mean, I'm not somebody who's gonna like just haul ass in a straight line. So I wanted to get something that was fun and a cruise-worthy bike that can keep up with my buddies in the curves and stuff like that. Because with my Hellcat, that thing, I was like pegging it out 4th gear. This is a 5-speed, but I was, I felt like I was sprinting, just trying to keep up as they were walking, if that makes sense. A little analogy of my own there, but yeah, if that makes sense. That's what it felt like. And that's kind of hard on those engines, those little tiny 125cc engines. If you're constantly just revving on it and maxing it out, it's not recommended. But this, you don't have to. It's comfortable, well worth the $3K price. They come in green, orange, red, black, and white, I believe. The orange is beautiful. At some points, like it kind of shifts a little bit. If you look at it, it's got like a yellowy tint to it. It's got a little bit of red in it. I love it. And again, if you do plan on getting exhaust for it, what I did was this piece here, I ended up cutting off the muffler because it slid on anyways. Stock, it is a slip-on. So I chopped it off, or not here, but I chopped it off the muffler, took that off, and it ended up working out where this slid on perfectly. And it's not going anywhere. There's no exhaust leaks, and it sounds a lot better. I will say with that stock exhaust, it sounds like a weed eater a little bit. I didn't like it at all, so that exhaust had to go. It sounds pretty damn good in my opinion. Beefy, low-toned. One thing that I do need to do is definitely need to swap out the coolant. Yeah, it looks like the actual coolant reservoir in there is a little low, but there is coolant in there. I believe it's a 50-30 mix. I want 50-50, so I have 50-50, and I need to swap that out. As well as any Chinese bike, you want to tighten everything. Make sure everything's tight and just go over everything. I mean, the thing will last you if you take care of it. A lot of people don't realize that these bikes, even the name brand bikes, they don't come 100% fully assembled. So when you go to a dealer and you go buy a bike, they do everything that you're going to do when you buy a bike in a crate. Before you purchase a bike from them, they've done that work. So some people I've seen people talk crap about these bikes, they fall apart. But then again, they get them out of the box, slap some oil in it, put some gas in there, and they go. They don't overlook the bike. They don't do any of that stuff. So take care of the bike, do what you need to do to get it running properly. Don't just jump on any of these bikes and go. Make sure it'd be like buying a bike from Joe Schmo off of Facebook and then just getting on it and assuming everything's fine, and then you have issues. So this rain looks like it might be coming in, guys. I'm gonna go for a little ride, and we'll ride for a little bit. But I was planning on trying to get some shots of this bike, but I don't think that's gonna happen. It may blow over. I don't see rain. I just see dark clouds. Technically, there's no rain in the forecast, but yeah, let's get on this bad boy. The cluster, I will say the cluster, I'm not really a fan of. It's orange, kind of boring, but it does tell you everything you need to know. It's not bad. It could be worse, but, whatever, right? So with these bikes, if you're not familiar with fuel-injected bikes, the fuel pump is going to go on for, it's going to come on in prime. You need to wait. You can't just get on it like a carbureted bike, a Grom clone, and go ahead and start it, because you just don't want to do that. So yeah, guys, let's back this bad boy up, get this thing started. That sounds amazing. I highly recommend getting a bigger exhaust, better exhaust. Actually, am I still in neutral? I am. Let's actually keep this on real fast and look at the bike. There is no light switch. There's brights, but there is no light switch. So it's not as if you can turn the lights on and off. It will come on its own, as you can see. They will turn on their own when you start the bike. And that's the same with the rear plate light and all that, which I need to... No, it's on. It's on. And then the brake light as well. So, oh man, hopefully I don't get caught in some sort of rain. It does come with hazards, which is kind of cool. And then obviously you get to see what the hazards look like. Not bad. Look a lot better than the bulky part that comes with it. So I think that looks a lot better, a lot cleaner with the LED headlight and the cooler looking black sequentials. I had to do that. I had to bring those over from the old bike. Those are actually different ones. But yeah, let's keep the brights on. Let's get on this bad boy and go. Hopefully it don't rain. I'm kind of scared. Not scared, but fuck it. Let's go this way. Oh yeah, it is super dark, and you probably can't tell in the camera, but in the footage, but it's pretty damn dark. I hope this doesn't just unleash a bunch of rain on me, because that would suck. Hey, there goes my horsey friends from the last video. Hi. Yes, this bike is awesome. You'll love this bike, especially if you're a beginner, or if you're just starting out and you've ridden bikes before, but you want something that's a big size bike, and you want even a daily commuter. This hands down, I'd ride this every day to work if I had, this is something that I would use all the time, and I plan to. But yeah, again, guys, I can't stress it enough. It's an awesome bike. It sounds amazing. I can't get over how awesome it sounds. My buddies love it too. They think it's a nice bike. The clone was fun. It was fun. But unless you're riding with a bunch of clones, or people, buddies, friends, whatever, that have similar bikes or similar power points and stuff like that, as far as just similar like bikes in general, that is fun. It was a blast riding with all my clone buddies. But it wasn't until you start riding with people with bigger bikes and a little bit faster bikes that it's fun. But you're gonna want to ride your bike. So if you have something that's bigger, chances are you're gonna get left in the dust. Not intentionally. I mean, you may have some asshole friends, but yeah, you're not gonna struggle to keep up. At all. So I'm gonna actually ride around a little bit. Hopefully it does not rain on me. I'm gonna get this video edited for you guys, and maybe get some cool pictures. I think I might try to get some decent pictures if it doesn't rain. If you're new to the channel, I hope you stick around and subscribe. Watch my other videos, check those out, because I mean, the Grom clones are a blast too, and I highly recommend those. So yeah, guys, as always, stay safe, ride safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.